Hello there, how you doing? Welcome to WorkTipsPro. This is where we help professionals like you stand out among their peers. My name is Mukhtar. Today we're going to be talking about how to make decisions. It can be challenging to sit in a meeting where a decision needs to be made and people just keep on talking in endless circles. People keep on beating around the bush. Or being in a meeting where a lot of unnecessary time is wasted before arriving at a decision. Maybe the best part of that meeting was the last 7 minutes because that's when the decision was made. In this video, we're going to go through 10 steps. These 10 steps should help you streamline your decision-making process and help you make high quality decisions. Okay, so there are two things that I'll quickly mention before we go into the steps. The first is you don't need to follow these steps in the exact order as I have them in this video. And the second is that you don't need to follow all the steps in this video if the stakes are not very high. By the way, you don't need to take any notes in this video. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing a checklist of all what we're going to cover in the video and some more. Okay, let's go into the 10 steps. The first step is to identify the decider. Identify the one person who has the ultimate authority to make the decision. This person should have the ultimate veto power. Not 3, not 4, one person. Now I know sometimes that this is unavoidable, but as best as you can, keep this number to a very minimal number. So identify the decider. The next step is to frame the question or the debate or the decision that's about to be made. You want to make it as succinct as possible, as tight as possible. A simple example could be, instead of saying we are going to decide on the best technology to use, you can say we need to decide between option 1, 2, and 3. So remember to frame the question to be as succinct and as tight as possible. The next step is to figure out how the decider wants to decide. Does the person want to use an authoritative style whereby the person doesn't consult with anybody else and they take the decision? Or does the person want to use a more consultative approach whereby they consult with other people before taking a decision? Or does the person want to use a more democratic style whereby the team, the group, owns and decides instead of the leader? Or does the person just want to delegate that decision-making responsibility to somebody? So these are just some styles, some approaches. So remember to figure out how the decider wants to decide. Just quickly, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and feel free to share this video so that other people can benefit. The next step is to get the right people in the room. Consider who will need to execute on the decision or who will be impacted by the decision to be made. And you want to pay attention to expertise, people that can contribute credibly to helping you make a decision. And also try looking beyond titles. Sometimes the person with the flashiest title is not necessarily the person who is in the best position to contribute to your decision making. So expertise is very important, but expertise is not everything. You also want to consider diversity. You want to consider people with expertise from different backgrounds. So for example, you can consider different generations, genders, or geographies. Another fun thing that you can do is to ensure that you have a healthy debate. So maybe assign somebody in the group to be the dissenting voice, to be the critic. So it's this person's job to always poke holes in the argument or in the decisions that you come up with. Some people naturally do this in any group, but if you're in a group that tends to come to a consensus very quickly, consider assigning somebody as the dissenting voice. It gives that person permission to poke holes at any arguments without feeling judged or like they're going to be dismissed. The next step is to gather the facts. I think this goes without saying, but sometimes, or a lot of times, we tend to skip over the facts. Good decisions are usually made after you've considered the evidence. It's very important to be data-driven when you make decisions. The next step is to create a positive space where people can express themselves freely. So you want to consider having psychological safety in your team or in that environment. And I talked a bit about psychological safety in this video that I'm going to link up here. So consider checking it out. You want to explicitly encourage people to share their opinions. If you're the leader, for example, consider maybe celebrating people that respectfully challenge your opinions. You also want to ensure that you hear from everyone in the room, otherwise there's no point inviting them. And you want to allow and encourage people to ask dumb questions. There's a lot of compounded ignorance out there in teams, and the worst environments are those environments that people cannot ask dumb questions. Trust me, you can lose weeks, if not months, in your project because everybody is pretending they understand and nobody really understands. So remember to create a positive space. The next step is to decide on what tools or frameworks you're going to use to help you make the decision. So you can consider using the standard pro-cons table. This is where you list the benefits and the downsides of the various options. Or you can consider using the criteria-based decision matrix. This is where you have a list of the criteria that matter, and then you grade how the different options match the criteria. Or you can consider using the impact effort assessment grid. This can help you prioritize the different options. If you want more details, check out this video that I'm going to link up here. The next step is to create some distance between you and the decision that you're about to make if you are the decider. This distance allows your thoughts to marinate. This is especially important when the stakes are high. Maybe people's lives are going to be affected, or there's going to be significant financial impact to the business. So you can go sleep over it, maybe go play with your kids, go do something else, maybe go take a shower. A lot of good ideas come to people when they're in the shower. I don't know why. So remember to create some distance between you and the decision that you're about to make. The next step is to obviously make the decision. And the step after that is to communicate the decision. So you want to communicate the decision to people that would execute on the decision and to people that will be impacted by the decision. I highly recommend that if these people are not already in the room when you are making the decision, you want to let them know ahead of time that something is coming. It's easier to get buy-in from people when you involve them or you let them know early on in the process. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've prepared a checklist with all that was mentioned in this video and some more. It's completely free. Click on the link in the description below if you want a copy. So these are the steps. If you follow some or all of these steps, it should lead to higher quality decisions and ensure that you don't really waste time when it comes to making a decision. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and feel free to share this video so that other people can benefit. See you in the next video.